Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that 898 that arrived, and it was dead as the proverbial hammer. It wouldn't even buzz. So I pulled the motor out, cleaned the wheels, cleaned the contact, resoldered the contactor wire, and this is the result. This has the original light bulb in it. So we're going to put this on the second rail. I've got a fairly light Lionel consist here. I think I've got 8 cars on it, I think. Alright, so the 898 with 3 10 Litho cars, $20 on eBay. I was the only bidder. Okay, that's about 40% power. As you see, this locomotive is running just absolutely perfectly, forward and reverse. So now all it needs to do is run. So I'll be running this on and off for the rest of the day. But as you see, it's actually running quite well. And I've done nothing to it yet. Soldered the contactor wire, a bit of judicious cleaning, cleaned the wheels, cleaned the contactor, a few drops of oil, and a shot of WD-40 into the E unit. This thing has been sitting someplace for decades. I mean, literally decades. This thing has not moved in years and years and years. Once I got the contactor soldered and the wheels cleaned, this thing just took off. As you see, that's running splendidly. No problem with this at all. And it's in fairly decent condition. It's far from perfect. It's been sitting someplace for decades. But the markers are intact. It's got the stack. The only thing missing is the number board. That's easy to replace with 2 drops of 5-minute epoxy. There is no rust on the push rods at all, as you see. The motor is really, really dirty. It needs to be thoroughly cleaned, but it's up and running. And there's light rust on the locomotive itself. But again, this is an all-black locomotive. Pull off the handrails, you can have this resprayed in 5 minutes, and this thing will look new. There's no damage to it at all. The nice thing about it, of course, is it is running, as you see, with absolutely no problem at all. Now, you see Marx motors selling for more than $20 on eBay. So I got the complete 898. It's running. A oil tender, the tanker, and the caboose. Now the caboose is shot. Like I said, it looks like it's been sitting in a window. This looks like sun fading to me. The tanker is actually in fairly good condition. Once this is cleaned up and lubricated, it's actually going to look alright. And a standard New York Central oil tanker, or oil tender. But as you see, this 898 is running just absolutely perfectly. No problem with it at all. Now, I was the only bidder on this. You know, a couple of these cars will sell for $20 on eBay. So, I gotta say it, don't overlook the junk. You know, this thing looked bad, so no one wanted it. That's why I was the only bidder on it. But as I always stress, if you can look past the paint and actually look at the locomotive itself, there's no physical damage to the locomotive. The motor is in more than decent condition. So, the only thing missing on this locomotive is the number board itself. Like I said, 2 drops of 5-minute epoxy, and you can replace that without spinning a dime. Anyway, it's up, running in fairly decent condition. A bit of cleanup, lubing, and tuning. The 898, the tender, tanker, and the caboose. Now, the caboose is shot. There's no way to save this shell. However, you've got the wheels, the chassis itself. It's got the ladder and the railing on the back. Throw another shell on this, you've got a really decent 556 caboose. Or use the chassis for something else and snag the parts, which is very likely what I'm going to do. Anyway, I just want to do a follow-up on this 898. $20 on eBay. I was the only bidder, and I've got to say it. Don't overlook the junk. As you see, this locomotive is running just absolutely perfectly. And this thing has not moved in years. And in 10 minutes, this locomotive is up and running. It even has the original light bulb in it. So, just want to do a quick follow-up. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.